We're good. Well, hello everyone out there in TV land.
TV
It's
land.
dark as night here, but I think we're supposed to have northern lights tonight.
We are. That's what I was just gonna go look out my window because I missed them
Yeah.
last night.
What time are they supposed to come?
Oh, maybe 10. I forget. But we had them here around Jackson Center. Of
Well,
course,
they
I
had to have
wasn't.
been amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't up that late, but I was told they were beautiful. So
Wow.
yeah. So welcome everybody. Wow, we got a lot of folks rolling in. We'll get ready. We'll get
Great.
going here in just a couple minutes, right?
We sure will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly ask John to turn his sound down because I'm hearing a ton of feedback. Hang on.
Yes. So yeah. Okay. Ten and 2. All right. Do we need to do a sound check?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Is that better for you?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you. Do you hear any feedback?
Nope, I don't.
Okay, good.
Not at this time.
John? Okay, we ready to get rocking and rolling?
Yeah, it's 8
Hey,
o'clock.
we have been so busy. Lots has been going on, and what's been kind of funny, welcome to our fireside chat, everyone. What's been kind of funny is we had this really lingering autumn. It was really lovely, and then boom, winter hit in a day. So here we are wearing our sweatshirts and our warm clothes. Hey, can you guys see my sweatshirt? Check it out. 70th anniversary.
And you can still get that gear through the end of the year. So if you want your 70th stuff, now's the time.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, this sweatshirt is like a baby blanket on the inside. It's extremely comfortable.
I love it.
Actually, Sherry told me to get this, and good advice. So keep your orders coming in, folks. A lot of exciting things. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and hope you're enjoying your late autumn, early winter. Here in Ohio, we are pretty much buttoned up. There's no more camping here. Shut the door and drain the tank. We're ready for winter. Yeah. So got a big schedule for tonight. We had our third annual strategy sessions. You might wonder what do you do in a strategy session? The strategy session was our entire IBT, International Board of Trustees, getting together for the third year in a row, where we discussed the long range plan of the club, kind of take a barometer check and see how we're doing on last year's goals and aspirations and where we want to head next. It was a 3-day experience held in Airstream Incorporated's boardroom. It was wonderful, and we'll give you a lot of insights into it. We might even have a little deck of what we're going to talk about tonight. So we are going to take a lot of questions from you, but we'll probably wait till I would say closer toward the end, so we can kind of roll out the topics in case the very next thing we were going to talk about would answer your question. So let's get rolling. Hey, Lori, say hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm laughing because, of course, we just did a test to share the screen, and I just tried to share it and stopped. So anyway, Sherry's got it fixed. For everybody who knows or doesn't know me, I'm Lori Tilton. I'm your executive director, and I feel like we're at a haha meeting, but I've been with the club a little over 11 years now. So of course, y'all know Jenny, and then we have Sherry McCabe, our marketing communications director. She is behind the scenes. She is helping with I think she's gonna pop on and say hello. There she is. So she will help with the questions as we go through tonight. If we can't get to them, then she will talk about it. So as Jenny was saying, we will share our deck. There we go. So are you guys able to see
Yes,
our
we
deck?
are. Mhm.
All right. So Jenny, these are the topics, right, that we're going to chat about a little bit tonight.
We are. We're going to try to get to all of them. You know, sometimes I start yapping away and all of a sudden the time is gone. So rein me in if it's too long. But we do have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. As we mentioned, we have been very, very busy serving you, our members, trying to always improve, looking at what we can do to make things better and a whole lot more fun. Because why else would we be here? So, without further ado, let's talk about our 2025 strategy session. As I said, it was held here in Jackson Center. I'm not here right now. I'm just making that part up. Here we are. We're inside the lobby of Airstream Incorporated. If you've been in there, boy, I hope you've had a great tour. Maybe you visited the shop and certainly stopped by the Heritage Museum. Quite a thrilling thing. So here's your IBT and motley looking crew, if I must say so. But we had an awful lot of fun. We really, really got a mountain of work done. Brian Wilch, who was standing in for Mike Pastva, said, I'm not kidding. What a whirlwind. It was so much work. And that's the whole point. Get together and go for it. Work really, really hard. Some of the topics that we talked about were things such as our organizational chart. How are we actually organized? This is a beautiful chart which will appear in the following topic after tonight, right after tonight. You will all get an email. Every member gets an email summarizing everything that happened in the strategy session, and then a little bit of a summary about where we're going with the caravan program, which I know a lot of people are very curious about. But we'll also include this beautiful chart, which shows how is your club organized? Well, we are broken down into the International Board of Trustees, which was the picture that you just saw. That includes our executive council members and our region presidents. The region presidents are the presidents over all the local clubs, and the executive council is elected by the membership in general. So region presidents are elected by their regions, executive council are elected membership wide, and together they serve as one governing body called the IBT. We also have standing committees. Standing committees are organized with a standing committee chair who oversees all the activities in that committee and then works directly with their liaison of the IBT, kind of as their conduit for motions or budget issues, those kind of things. So there's a tremendous amount of communication that goes through there. Over in the blue on the far right of your screen, this is our headquarters. And as Lori introduced herself, she's the executive director, and her employees include 6 other employees that serve all of the members' needs administratively. So there you have it. We have intra clubs tucked down in there and standing committee liaisons. Everybody's very, very busy right now, connecting, strategizing where things need to be, and getting organized so that we can really, really be a lot smoother and a lot more efficient and a lot more predictable for what happens when, and when you have a question, where you get to go to get the answer. So that's our goal really for this year, is to increase education, not just with members, but for leaders. A tremendous amount of training will be going into this next 12 months. Training at all levels, local club, the boards of local clubs, treasurers, up to the regions, and then of course all of our training too. One of the challenges, and it's fun, but it's still a challenge, is that when you become newly elected into the IBT, the International Board of Trustees, often many members have not ever experienced the level of administration that goes on. So there's a bit of a learning curve. So one of our goals that we all really got behind in our strategy session was to bring everybody up to speed a lot more thoroughly. So by the time they step into the roles of the IBT, whether they're region president or executive committee member, they are executive council member, they are all ready to go hit the ground running on day one. Big help. So that's really a focus that we're going to be looking at. One of the coolest things we're going to look at is improving relationships with sponsors, dealers, people out in the community. And one of the ways we're doing that, it's real exciting. Our club will be joining up with Jackson Center Community Days, and we're going to be hosting a rally in conjunction with that event so that we really interface well into Jackson Center. It's such a charming town, and we really want to celebrate what Wally found so adorable, so charming, and so appealing in coming to this town because it's still there. So that's exciting. We talked about that a bit. We went through a little bit of updates on the campus as far as renovating the new old clubhouse, the new old headquarters into a clubhouse, and a couple other things we were wanting to talk with you about tonight. We'll get into a little bit further. Is there anything you want to add about strategy, Lori?
No, you covered it well, and I think it'll be great for your recap to get out to our membership. But it was a really great week. A lot of, as Brian said, it was overwhelming. There was so much going on, but it was great to have everybody together. And so I just can't wait for all the results to come out of all of our hard work for the membership to see that.
Kind of fun too about doing what we did was everybody setting everything else in their life aside for just
Yep.
this amount of time to really focus all day and through the evening on building a consensus with each other, creating one unified board. And this is the first time this has ever really happened that we committed to this consciously. It didn't happen by accident, that we see the value of having 26 of us helping govern, helping with programming, helping with support versus just this group and that group. To join
Yeah.
together is an extraordinary opportunity to utilize tremendous talent.
Well, and as I've said a gazillion times, the dedication of our membership to our club, the volunteerism, that it's always mind blowing. Every time I turn the corner, even in 11 years, it's still overwhelming to me, the dedication that comes from our membership. That's for
You're
sure.
right.
Yeah.
You're
So
absolutely right.
Jenny, I thought we got a couple questions, and they're the same questions actually, and we'll touch on these and then we can move on to your next topic if you don't mind.
Sure.
We got a couple, so there's ways to participate in our meetings, and so we got a couple of them. One, I got two different emails, and I see one of the questions here. One was talking about the front end separation, which is an Airstream company question, not an Airstream club question. So we'll get that passed on. And I see Randy has that question as well. One was questioning about Camp Airstream in Yellowstone. Again, that is an Airstream company initiative. Some news will be coming about that soon. I think that's the best way to answer that. They are working to keep that program going. I think that's the easiest way to say that. And then we did have a voicemail, and I see another question about the app on the Android. I'll have to forward that to our tech team. I'm an Android user and I have no issues with the app, so I don't know exactly what's going on with that. So, and I know other Android users that don't have any issues. So we will definitely check on both those items and get back with the members on that. And then the other question that came in ahead of time, and we could touch on this later in the international rally, was why are there no rallies in the southern area of the United States? Because they said they heard us talk about that at York. I don't quite remember. And I can tell you, as being part of the team that looks for places, I haven't found one large enough. The one that we do, I hate to say Perry, Georgia, because from 2007, I've heard the international rally in 2007 almost melted everybody because the heat was so bad. So I am still working with Perry, Georgia to find a time to get us down there. But again, if anybody knows of a spot in the South that has at least 1,000 hookups, send me an email and we will work that way to try to make that stuff happen.
You definitely don't want me answering some of these questions. You really don't. My opinion on separation, always try marriage counseling first. Don't get separated. That's my advice. Okay, but I'm moving along. No, and those are real issues. Unfortunately, that's kind of outside my purview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not real technical when it comes to the Airstream stuff. If you'd like to ask me a question about drapery or upholstery fabric, I'm your girl, or how to make really good cookies, count me in.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but no.
just to educate everybody on the call right now, I think you all know, but if not, just reiterate that the Airstream Club International is a separate company from Airstream, the manufacturer. So we are two different companies, but we work very closely together. We love each other to death. So when we get questions like that, it's best for us to send to them so that we're not answering their questions, not knowing.
And it's
But it's
interesting that you bring that up because this is the 70th year of our club,
Mhm.
which is pretty exciting. But back then, all the way until 1979, we were a part of
Right,
Airstream Inc. We were, Helen, you've heard of Helen by Schwamborn. Helen was Wally's cousin, and she's the one that really got the club started back in 1955. And the focus was caravans, which we're going to talk on. But it's interesting that I like that there's still, you think one, you think the other, because we are in a kind of a hand holding relationship. We say Airstream builds the product, we build the lifestyle.
right.
And I just had a wonderful meeting on Monday morning with Bob Wheeler. He is the president of Airstream Inc. And once again, he reiterated the passion and the commitment that Airstream Inc. feels to the club. And I was able to turn around and say the exact same thing about our club to the brand. So it's a wonderful relationship. We're very, very fortunate. However, I don't want to stray outside my lane and try to give you
So
technical
right,
advice.
right. So,
You don't
as
want it.
Jenny will start talking about our next topic, and when she does again, this meeting's for you, or meeting Campfire Chat is for y'all. So if you have questions, please use the Q&A, and we will get to them. You're going to set the pace of this. If not, we'll just sing and dance for you and keep you entertained. So on to you, Jenny, on the next topic. Dum-dum.
Okay. So, as you know, I mentioned, well, I hope you know, I mentioned that it's immediately following our fireside chat tonight. I'm dropping, that's, the cool kid term. I'm sending out an email to all of you. It's very long in the sense that it's comprehensive, all about what happened in the strategy session. And then I'm following it up with somewhat of an overview of where we're at with our caravan program. I think there's been a lot of concern that and I've heard these things that we're going to end the caravan program, that we're firing everybody, that we're taking over. No, none of those are true at all. And you're hearing it right from me. Those are not true. What we're looking to do, the caravan program was begun, as I mentioned, in 1955, so 70 years ago. Back then, how it all worked, it was all through the club. The caravan leaders did not collect funds. Caravan leaders did not select their own participant list. They did not manage a wait list. That was all handled through the headquarters, through Helen herself. She did have a secretary in the 70s, but up until that point, it was all her. And it was a lot smaller. They weren't running 24 caravans a year, which is actually what we ran this past year, 24 caravans. What's going on is that as things have evolved, technology has given us a lot more tools to simplify the process for caravan leaders, to remove some of the ambiguity, and to make things a lot more predictable and transparent, which is a big factor in running a club of 20,000 people. That you want everything to be as it should be. One of the challenges is we have multiple checking accounts, multiple tax forms, all sorts of little tiny unique features to these different caravans, which can make it a very, very confusing myriad of stuff for a member to have to wade through to be able to go on a caravan. So we were talking about, well, how can we remove some of the challenges that several caravan leaders have flat out said, I'm not leading a caravan anymore. This is too complicated, because it is very complicated. And members have said, how can I get on a caravan? I've been on a wait list for 3 years. I don't even know where I'm at on the wait list. Do I even bother? So we've gotten some challenges, and we thought there's got to be more ways to really improve this for everybody, and not just for the member, not just for the caravan leader, or not just for the club itself, but for all of us. So one of the things we did last Friday, we had a meeting looking not to alter how a caravan leader leads the caravan, not at all, but how do we get them to that point with fairness, with transparency, and with simplicity. And those three things were really what drove us. Lori came up with this great idea. She said, if I could redesign the whole program right now, if it was a whole new world, I would give them a caravan box. And in that box would be the people that gets to go, all their medical forms, all the money collected, probably some platform of payment, whether it's a debit card or a prepaid credit card or a credit card. Anything that could have been prepaid, we would have handled. And then all the forms for collecting receipts and doing the reporting for the end. I'd hand them, the caravan leader, the box, go off and have a great time with your friends. When you come back, bring the box back and we will go ahead and take it from there. Simplifying the collecting of money, the managing of wait lists, the assignment of participants, and the reporting, the tax reporting and the receipt reporting, along with any refunds that go back. So removing those four things from the responsibilities really can make that job a lot more appealing. One of the challenges that we have found are the caravan leaders often have to go through a phone list of 100 people trying to fill a caravan of 25 because the wait time was 2 or 3 years. And in that time, a lot of stuff has changed for the people that initially signed up. So looking at all those factors, and we sure don't have all the answers, but we're really driving all of our efforts right now to considering a box, considering simplifying across the board, collection of money, assignment of participants, wait lists, and reporting. And if we can achieve that, we think we're going to be able to even add more caravans, expand the program, bring some of the people that are trained but have been intimidated by all those big, huge issues, bring them back in and say, hey, let's put together another fun adventure. A lot of people, that's the only reason they joined this club. And for them to feel pushed out because of some of these simple logistical administrative challenges is really not, it's something we think we can make better. So that's where we're at with the caravan program. Lori, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you nailed it perfectly.
Okay. Okay, well, I would imagine that there's going to be questions on that topic. Particularly some of some of the caravan leaders right now have been wondering, do I have a job? Heck yeah, you have a job. You got to lead a caravan, but we want to make it better for you. So that's where we're at with that, and lots of work to do within that. We have a great team of people, and we've been getting a little bit of questioning about why don't you have caravan leaders on this planning team looking at this. We don't need to know quite as much from the how to lead the caravan as we do need the information on the computer systems that we will be required to have in place before we can implement this. We need to have the business plan going forward. We need the form development, and we need to be able to understand managing and collecting randomized, think about Ticketmaster, randomized a seat assignment for a caravan, just like Ticketmaster. On this certain day, the registration opens, you phone in. If you're selected in the first group of people, you put your deposit down. The next group of people are the wait list, and we handle it that way in the most fair way we can think of. So that's pretty much what I got on that topic.
You make me think about back in the day when I had to get a wristband to get in line to get a ticket to see Garth Brooks. But anyway, all right. So
Well, I'll make you feel really old. My very first date with John was 1971, the Rolling Stones concert, and Stevie Wonder was the backup band.
it's awesome. All right. So moving on, Jenny, I'm going to share this next slide so you can talk to it.
Well,
if
this
you
is
wanna...
kind of fun.
Yeah.
So as you know, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we talked about, we did a walkabout led by James Shaw, our EC member, and he did a great job and he explained what the campus improvements are. Well, what is our campus? What do we mean by that? Back in 1984, 11 acres was bought, and it was the Maxwell farm, Ed Maxwell's farm in Jackson Center. It was bought by a member and then donated to the club. There was a capital campaign, and money was raised to build the headquarter building, which is still there. Well, when a fortunate thing happened, we had radically outgrown that building. We couldn't staff ourselves properly until we had more space. Everybody was on top of everybody else. There were no walls. You can hear everything going on in there. And what was kind of fun for me personally was when our new IBT members went through the new building that we've just finished renovating, and then they went back and looked at where we were. Without a doubt, every one of them was like, "Ooh, well, good thing we moved." So we have this other building and that we were in as the headquarters. And then fortuitously, that's a really big word for a Wednesday night. I'll switch that. Luckily, the building next door, which was three businesses all in one building, became available. And the decision was made by the previous IBT that it would be a wise idea to purchase that because it had the room we needed. We could renovate it into a wonderful facility, and then we would turn the building we were in into something else. And that something else is going to become a member clubhouse and our historical library and educational center for our club archives. You heard about the Heritage Center over at Airstream Inc. That's about the trailers. It's not about our club. We're looking at the history and archives of our 70-year club. And so fortunately, Joe Poplinski, our historian, and David Gully, who is Region 6 president, have been very, very busy getting a lot of stuff scanned and archived and ready for display. And they will be housed in that other portion of the old building. But in order to do this, we do not want to use member dues. And so we are once again having a fundraiser, a capital campaign. And part of it is to buy a brick. So I've already bought several bricks. We have multiple people doing the $1,000 brick where they can have their own logo custom designed on the brick. We bought one for our dog's birthday. John and I have one for the grandkids. So several regions have purchased a whole bunch of them, the big one and the little ones for each club, so they can kind of have a display all around for their region, which is pretty exciting. So we're doing really well on that. We've extended the deadline to December 31st. I sure hope you consider getting a brick. They will be creating a pathway between the old building and the new building, and they will be in front of our pavilion. We're going to be building a pavilion, an outdoor pavilion, and there'll be a fire pit and a dog park. So we're really developing what is now, remember I said we had 13 acres? We acquired two more when we purchased the old bank building. So now we have 13 acres and a pretty significant chunk of beautiful farmland in central Ohio. And it was neat at the strategy session because a lot of people had never really been to a rural Midwest area, and they were shocked at how stunningly beautiful the vast skies were and the air. And it was so pretty because it was Indian summer, and for them to be there and experiencing it, saying, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. This is the heart of America. And it really is. And so we'd like to celebrate all of you in this opportunity to buy a brick and put a lasting mark on your own campus. Because you know what? It's yours. We're working hard so you can have this cool stuff. So
Absolutely.
there's a couple addresses there for you to look at if you'd like to jump in, and I really encourage you to do it. Um, it's an awfully cool way to give a memorial, an honor, or just remembering why you joined this club. So that's on the campus fundraising.
Yeah. So don't forget, you can go to the website. It's Sherry may have to correct me, but I think it's under the first tab, but it talks about as the links there that you can get out there. And I see Anthony Robbins, how you doing, buddy? I see he just posted that the Fly Fishing Club, which is one of our newest interclubs for those that are not familiar with our interclubs. Thanks to Anthony pulling that together, that they are going to be participating in that and buying a brick from the Fly Fishing Club, which I think is fantastic.
Oh, it's so awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been these interclubs have really, really engaged. If you're a member of these interclubs, you just gotta feel so proud right now because you are rocking it. I mean,
Yeah.
the engagement that you have, not just within our ACI, but within these interclubs and celebrating your own interests. It's great. So I'm seeing I'm seeing the preponderance of participation is coming out of our interclubs. That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so I'll go ahead and answer. We have Linda asking, is there any work being done to improve the website for members and
oh, that's
webmasters?
a
So
great one.
actually there is. For those who know or don't know, our current database slash website is 7 years old, and in today's technology, we're ancient. We are an antique out there. So
Yeah, we actually have pterodactyls in the back room
yeah.
that peck out the data.
Right. That's what it feels like some days. Anyway, so yes, we have a team starting. Actually, I had the meeting this morning that we're starting to pull together our resources and internally to figure out what we can do to make some steps going forward on improving member interaction on the database. So one of the things there too, which you'll see here soon, is that the navigation menus there are changing. So you'll see all that coming within the next couple weeks. We're doing some refreshes, but overall we will be updating that.
Yeah,
So
Linda, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm on this daily and it's a struggle. So you're not wrong. We need help. And thank goodness we have some of these amazing minds that, that is something I was going to mention before, the talent that we have in our membership, but not just hidden talent, people stepping up and helping. It's just extraordinary. So this is one of the areas we have some really, really good people who have just stepped up to tackle on this big, big project.
yes. All right. So poor Sherry just lost her internet. She just texted me, but that's okay. She'll get back on. So Jenny, if you want me to go, I can start talking a little bit membership numbers of where we are in our amazing um world of the Airstream Club. I'm
I'd
just
love
so
you to, because this is pretty darn exciting.
yeah, so as of the end of October, we're at, if you guys can see the line, how we've been growing steadily since around 2012 is when we kind of bottomed out, and then we've been going up ever since. So as of October 31st, we have 10,356 members in this club, which is exciting to me. We beat the high of 1998 was 10,200 and some. So I'm excited that we have got to that point. Things have really changed over the last couple years. I don't know what we're doing right, but it benefits to all of you and everybody's welcomeness of members here. But we're doing something right to make these numbers continue to grow. And I think a lot of you know, if not, I will let you know. So over the last, it started in 2021, Rich Short out of Region 2 started the progress and bringing in member benefits. So as you can see the screen here, all of these people are wanting to partner with us. We don't pay them to partner with us. They just want to be part of this community because they understand the passion and those that are running their Airstreams. So the newest benefits this year, you'll see on the screen in the red box, is the KOA group camping. So great KOA has developed a program within their organization to help clubs like us have rallies. So they have concierge people on staff, so you can call them. They can do a group bank for you. They'll help you coordinate whether it's a tour, a dinner, a wine tasting, all kinds of things going on. So I was excited to hear KOA is willing to help our folks do those organizations as rally. We have RB Weather, which is basically a weather app, and I don't know if Sherry got back on yet or not. I can't see. I don't have that many screens, but again, amazing member that came up with this. So this is a pretty neat deal. Blaupunk are electronic bikes. They were at the rally with us. They're now giving us a discount. Park at 360. That is that really crazy robot that helps move your Airstream without having a truck in it. Truck moving it, and then Adventure Genie, which is a mapping app, and then we just signed on AutoCamp. I don't know if you guys are familiar with AutoCamp, but AutoCamp is a luxury Airstream built campgrounds. So you don't have to take your Airstream. You can rent their Airstreams. They have 7 different locations around the country, like Yellowstone. Just did one in Yosemite. So some of those places that if you want to go, and actually if you look at our Blue Beret, you'll see an article from one of our members that he wanted to go. I forget where Cole wanted to go, but he wanted to go, but he didn't have the time to pull his Airstream, so he used AutoCamp. So he still got the life of living in that Airstream while he was vacationing, but he was able to save the time. So you can find all of that stuff on our website. Again, remember this, you got to be logged in to see all these type of information. And
Oh, we had a member ask about that. Do we have to pay for these sponsorships?
no, not at all. We don't pay
No.
anything to these folks. Again,
The
they
opposite actually occurs for the most part.
yeah, sometimes we get a little bit of a revenue share, but instead of asking for money back to us as in ACI, we always say, I'll stop sharing here for a minute. We always say, what can you do for our members? What kind of discount? And actually, I don't know if Rich Collins is on the call tonight, but like he just said that he used the Michelin program for the tires, and he saved like $120 going through our program. It was easy peasy. So that's what it's all about. Like he said, that covered his membership for a year, so he's good to go. So that's why we try to do these things. And then again, I always say to everybody, if you have an idea of somebody that maybe we can partner with, let us know. We can see what we can do about partnering with them. So we're excited we built that. Sherry, again, I don't know if you're back online with us or not, but she works really hard on making these things happen. So I'm really proud of her and the team for pulling these folks in. Because I even said AutoCamp. I said, I can, I don't have a lot of time. I'm still working, right? So I can fly out someplace and stay, come back, whatever. So good news there.
Yeah, those are amazing benefits. I'm looking at the list going, I do that, I do that, I do that, I do that, I do that. We had KOA, we had a rally locally, and KOA gave all the members 20% off. They put us all together, they organized everything, opened up their registration long before they allowed it for the general public, gave us a pavilion to use for the whole time with refrigerators and everything. It was
Yeah.
amazing. And 20% off. It was just fabulous. And they said at the end of it, anytime you want to come back, you come back. So they're just a great camping partner.
Yes, it is. So I'm just answering a couple questions here. Somebody asked about the National Caravan Fund. It was created for the caravan, and it's still there. Nothing has happened to that. Actually, we're just trying to make sure we're more transparent with our reporting, as we've had some issues with, as Jenny mentioned. Harvey's asking, is there an online form to discuss all things Airstream? So I would say yes. I don't know if you're familiar with Airforms, and I don't know if they're linked on our page, but Airforms is a place that you can go. That's a lot of chatter about
Technical
Airstream,
data.
technical data, brakes, condensation, all that stuff. So Airforms would be the place I would suggest going. Darlene Caldwell, hi Darlene, how are you? Our friends in Canada. Yes, we do have some interesting challenges about the caravan issues, and you're right, dealing with international money exchanges is a huge deal. And we are working with our friends at US Bank, which has a connection with Royal Canadian Bank. So we've got all those things in play. I mean, and I think Jenny mentioned we have a huge onion to unwrap here, or peel back, or whatever you want to call it, but we're on the task. And then Walter is asking, why do people leave? Why did it start make more? So why did people leave the club back in the I don't know, but I can tell you today we have an 83 to 85% renewal rate, which all of you should be super proud of. And we find two reasons, the two main reasons people leave is they sold their Airstream. As I think a lot of you know, folks that buy Airstreams are not typically campers, right? They're starting top notch. And so normally they lose about 40% of that 1-2 year people just starting out. They find camping's not for them. And then the other reason is aging out. And that's what breaks my heart, because that's why we lose members, is because of age, and they just can't tow anymore or that thing. So the little bit of members lose every year is because of those two big topics.
I want to make a point too, is we're looking at members, but those actually, those numbers that Lori put up on her screen, those are memberships.
Yep.
So members, go ahead and just about double it. The number of members in this club is rapidly approaching 20,000 members. A membership, for example, John and I have one membership of 2 members. So typically, I think it's 1.8 is what you multiply that
Yeah,
factor by.
1.87 is our number.
Yeah, so close to twice as much. So we're rapidly approaching 20,000 members. And you'll see a couple dips, and they really fall very closely with the
Are you
economy.
calling me a dip?
No, you're not a dip. You're not even a drip. You're just wonderful. The dip that we see in 2008, 2009, when it really went to its lowest level. Well, you might recall what happened in the economy in 2008. We had the housing bubble burst, and nobody had disposable income. So those numbers, nobody was buying a trailer, and camping took a big kind of dive down because people just were struggling during that time. You'll see another tiny little blip right after, about 18 months after COVID, because people were so excited and got their new trailers, gave it a try once or twice, discovered they weren't wildlife enthusiasts. And I'm not just talking about animals, I'm talking about the wildlife we have. And they just realized it wasn't their cup of tea. So we do see a little tiny dip there, but that's because, in the words of Bob Wheeler, we were on a sugar high from sales of trailers during COVID.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so you'll see those things kind of parallel, usually a little tiny lag, maybe 12 to 18 months after something that was pretty significant, either in the economy or in the global environment. And sure enough, we see that. But the rise, even through the challenges, I credit the staff. I credit this incredible staff that's saying, not on my watch, we're not dropping down, and doing everything they can to bolster up everything in this club to be the best that it can be. And in doing so, providing a lot of services for our members.
Absolutely. So Victor's asking, and I believe Sherry's answering, but Vic and Karen, nice to meet y'all. They are new to this,
Cool.
and they're in New Mexico, and they're asking about the local Airstream club out there. So Sherry's going to pass that information on to them. Jenny, your wonderful husband mentioned, and Teresa B is also mentioning about the Facebook group Airstream Addicts. That's another huge group on Facebook of answering technical questions as well. So all that stuff's out there. So do we want to talk about the International Rally for a minute?
Sure.
So you guys, oops, I guess I got to share my screen first. Sorry, forgot that. All right, so let's see here. There we go. Here we are. So we are going to be in Minot, North Dakota in August of 2026. We are super excited. This community, if anybody's heard me talk about Minot, they love our Airstream community, and they are rolling out the red carpet for us. So as of this morning, we had 825 registrations, and we can go up to 1,200. And I'll explain more here in a minute. We have a couple different options I don't even know what today's date, the 12th. So on 11/19 is when our registration for our exhibitors is going to be starting. And then 12/1 we'll be calling for our presenters. So the rally team is working hard on getting that all together. So as we talked about, one of our biggest challenges when we look for rally locations is space, right? Or hookups. And so we're working on cracking that nut on a couple of things, and I can tell you more here soon about 2028. So in Minot, we have 3 different camping options, and this is just camping fees. So you have rally on site, which is $425. That includes your 30 amp service. We're delivering water and then a pump out every 4th day. We have distance economy, which is $300. You're still going to get 30 amp water delivery and a pump out, which I'll show you in the map here. That is a little further away. And then we have off-grid camping, which is $195. So if we can make this fill all these, we can have a little over 1,200 folks there. So this is a map of Minot. This building here, which is their state fair building, I'm in awe with it. 90% of what we will be doing is going to be in this one building. It is just huge. I remember taking the rally crew there, and they thought we were done. I'm like, but wait, there's more. We just kept going and going. This building just keeps going. So as you see on the map, here's where some of our on-site parking is. Off-grid parking, there's a little grassy knoll up there, which will be up in this area. And then this distance economy, it's about a quarter mile from here to there. So that's where that's going to be at. And so if you can see it, this map, this is what that parking area looks like in our distance economy. And if you can see this big red arrow, that is where the building is. So that kind of gives you a scope of where it is. There's a road here, but again, bicycles, golf carts, things like that. And then we'll also have a shuttle stop right there. So all of that is there. And we're super excited to get into Minot. What a great little community. There, they definitely are wanting us to be there. They're doing a little bit of build out. And as I've said, every time I've been there, the community always hosts us. And I want to move there until they start talking about snow. And then I'm like, all right, I'm out. So
Let me quickly say a few words about volunteering. You know, this organization is huge and it's running with a large army of volunteers. There are opportunities for anything that you want to do and any level that you want to rise to within this club is we will help you, we will mentor you, and we sure will encourage you. You know, sometimes all it takes is somebody saying, I'd love you to be on my committee. And guess what? Right now, you're hearing me say, I would love you to be on my committee. I'd love you to work on this team, volunteer in any capacity. It makes it so much more fun, so much more engaging, and you'll meet wonderful people. So join in. This is what it's all about. And I really encourage young people to come forward, get your feet wet. Go for it. You're going to be leaders of this club real soon. We want you ready when that time comes for you. So even if you're working full time, we can find a small job. We can find a big job if you're ready. Bring your skills to us. One of the most extraordinary things I have discovered about all the Airstream members, we're all doers. We all have cool skills and we do cool things. Bring it to the club. We'll benefit and you'll benefit as well. So with that in mind, let's take your calls.
yeah, you're live on air with Lori and Jenny, or Jenny and Lori. So Dindy, our fellow executive council member, has posted he just purchased a brick in honor of his grandparents who introduced him to the Airstream lifestyle.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
That's a
thanks,
beautiful
Dindy.
story.
Yeah, absolutely. Linda is asking, quarter mile closer than sites at Rock Springs. I would say yes. The Boar's Tusk it was further than a quarter mile. So I would say yes, that's definitely a little bit closer there. Okay, so give me a second. I'm reading this content. At a recent rally, many questions were asked regarding persistent issues with Airstream manufacturing to the Airstream dealer. A fellow attendee mentioned that there is a club to Airstream Manufacturing Corp focus group to help address quality issues. Does the board know about? Karen, I am not aware of that. There was a what they call it, a consumer council, but I don't believe they're continuing that. Again, that's an Airstream company question, but I'm again not aware of that going on right now. If we do learn of it, we'll definitely share with you all as well. Kathy Giese, hi Kathy, haven't seen you. Kathy Giese, she's now, I guess, an Oregon Airstream Club junior rally coordinator. Last year, or same year, a few months ago, she was an executive council member, right? That's this year.
She's also a survivor of the tornado house.
Yes. at the
Yeah.
last strategy session. She said she's met lifelong friends through the club, and volunteering has been very rewarding for her. So that's fantastic. And then
It was
Dindy
a joy to work with you, Kathy. Such a joy.
and Kathy has to be credited. She did so much work on our courtesy parking program through Harvest Host, and actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Sherry, but December, I believe we're going to be sending out more communications, or soon. Sorry, I don't know the times. I just work here. But that is such a wonderful program, and it is again another way that people meet each other. I've heard some amazing stories of when they meet through courtesy parking, and it's such a convenience for our members. So more information, we're going to continue to try to educate our members. And Kathy was definitely instrumental in helping us pull all of that off to make that happen.
Well, true that. And I'm going to invite everybody to John Holly's house because although I haven't made it there, I hear you get a lovely drink and a beautiful charcuterie board. So yeah, you want to courtesy park with John.
Yeah, I don't even know if John's on the call, but if not, John's going to give
All the
people,
better
right?
if he's not. Sign up.
So did confirm the Consumer Council they did close that during COVID, and it may come back in the future. So thanks for that info, Dindy. Jen Dice. Hey Jen, how you
Hi,
doing?
Jen.
She said the OAC is a great club with excellent rallies, thanks to those who arrange them, like Kathy and the team as well. So absolutely, this is about just the volunteerism, the dedication of this group is just absolutely amazing. Chris is asking, is there a rally scheduled for 2026? No, not yet, but I will take a look, keep an eye on our website, probably not until after the first of the year. There's a skeleton schedule, but the details will be coming more and more as the team works through the gazillion parts we have to work through when it comes to our international rally. Hey, Tom Price, how's our favorite painter out there? Right? Okay, another IRNers while my children are in school. We really need to come. Yes, Tom, I can tell you we've discussed the timing of the rally. The biggest, I can tell you, our biggest problem is these venues do not want us during the summer and getting space, because normally livestock beats us out 9 times out of 10. So we do the best we can to try to get them back into June and July. So 26, we're in August. 27, we're in June. 28, we will probably be June-ish as well. So again, we ask these facilities, we talk about it all the time. So we try to do the best we can with those.
One of the challenges we run into in booking these rallies, and by the way, they're booked out 3, 4, sometimes even 5 years in advance, is that we end up competing with return customers. For example, the Rodeo Association or the Junior Rodeo Association, and they come back year after year. So they get a much, they're locked in, and we're trying to fit. We have to have 3 weekends. We're trying to fit that big of a time chunk in where maybe they only have a week available. We need more than that for setup and, of course, disassemble. So we run into problems with not just the number of sites we need, but the time frame we need them in. And I agree with you, Tom. That's been a stress for having 3 rallies in a row and it's not just school kids, it's also teachers. So that's been I will apologize for that because that's just something that we ran into. And it turned out we regret that we weren't able to put something together for this summer in the summer months. So sorry to tell you, but we're back in the back to school time. But in Minot, and hopefully the rally following will be definitely in the midst of the summer.
Yeah. Rock Springs it's out on our website. It's definitely late June. So that should definitely be helpful. So we have Lynn asking about members that own Airstream Interstates or other drivables. We do not have an interclub, but it's funny you asked because I actually gave Jenny a note the other day. I said I would love for us to find some drivable, the interstates, the atlases, the class A's, any of that group, to get an interclub started. I want it so we can get you more engaged in the club. And so absolutely, that's a big dream I know of mine. So Lynn, if you have any interest in helping with that. reach out to Jenny. She can hook you up with some
I'd
folks to
love to
make
do
that
that for you, Lynn. That would be so
right.
happy. I love these vehicles. They're so exciting, and it's one of the fastest growing areas of Airstream. There's 3 different new intra clubs that we in the on the team have been looking at thinking. Members have brought these ideas forward. Pets, pet owners,
Yep.
military, and drivables. And those
And
3 areas I have
base camps. And base camps.
and base
Yeah,
camps. Yeah.
there's 4 of them. So we just need some
Wow.
members to help organize that stuff, right?
Yeah, we do. Lynn, give me a call.
Okay, so we have Mitch and Dindy help answer some of these questions. I don't know if everybody can see the questions. I know some can, some can't. So Mitch is a newbie here. Thanks for all the details about my non-event, but I'm unclear as to what the goal of the event is and why. So I love your response, Dindy. He says it's the best summer camp for adults ever. Plus, you're in a Silver City. So absolutely, that is the goal of our international rally: is to provide entertainment, camaraderie, education, prizes, all of those things, food. It's a great time. I love being part of the team. The team works very hard to bring you a good time, and that's what it's about. So it's very member focused, very very focused on everybody just having a good time.
And now we know Lynn will be there helping set up the Towables Club, so
Right?
that'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even so Milo and Diane, how you guys doing up in the Northeast? Calling the Interclub the Drivables is awesome. Thanks. I just pulled that out, but they're so important. I think if anybody works with me and knows me, my goal, we're all members. Everybody's a member, and I want everybody to have the same opportunity. So I want to get the drivables out there. I want to get the base camps out there. I want to make sure everybody knows that we're a community. And I think if we can get these intra clubs going, just like the fly fishing and what Anthony done, I haven't looked at your numbers, Anthony, but it is one of the craziest, fastest growing intra clubs because everybody has a passion for fly fishing. I have not fly fished yet. I will be taught. I love to fish. But the whole point is, again, it's a common interest. It's something that brings people together. And
Absolutely.
these beautiful Airstreams get us in this club, but we have to make those people connections. And so that's what's so exciting when we hear about these things. So we've got John Schnettler jumped in there. I wonder who that guy's married to. So he mentioned to Mitch, come to the VAC dance. We always have a wonder if the VAC helps and puts on a very fantastic entertainment of the dance. A lot of us can't recuperate for a couple days, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Seen
it's a little
y'all.
painful.
Blew a hip out on that one. And then we have Stephanie asking, is there a photography interclub? No, but I bet you Sherry McCabe would jump on here and says absolutely, because we love to get photos from our members, and we use them in the Blue Beret. She uses them in our social posts. We always need photos. And again, I think that is an amazing thing that we could do. And I have a feeling, Stephanie, you're getting a note from Stephanie right now. Yes, Vernon, we're aware of that. But some of those parks do not want us, unfortunately. So the team is working. There's a lot of things that's changed in the venue industry. So all good. So does anybody else have any other questions? Jenny, we're coming up on the hour. We'll, like usual, we'll answer your questions as much as we can. If you have anything. We have a quiet crowd tonight. Quiet
Bueller.
crowd.
So before we go, I want to share with you, we have a new membership standing committee chair. It is Billy Jo Eubank, and she's full of enthusiasm and great ideas. You know, it's really important that you have a membership chair in this group that understands that we're not all one. We're many, and to address the needs of all of us, it takes a lot of agility. And I think Billy Jo can bring that to the role. I'm real excited that she's joined forces
Absolutely.
with us. And then throughout our little talks and columns that I'll send to you. I'll be giving you more and more information. I have a great saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I'm not going to ask you to sit down and eat the whole thing with a spoon. I'll give you little bites here and there. Don't forget,
Awesome.
right after this, you're going to be receiving an email, which will put a lot more information at your fingertips about what we're up to, what we hope to accomplish through our strategy session, and in the caravan program as well. So please
So,
keep. Oh, go ahead. You
no,
have
I was just
another.
going to say, well, Michael Lambert. Hi,
You
Michael.
got a live one. Hi,
Yeah,
Michael.
we got a live one. So Michael jumped on to say he has stayed at so for those who don't know about the courtesy parking program, we have 6 spots at HQ right there in Jackson Center. And Michael has used our courtesy parking there. And thank you for saying, Michael, that it's quiet, convenient, and great neighbors, because he always comes over and visits with us. So that is fantastic. Would like to see some brainstorming to include people in dead zones. Nancy, send us an email if you could elaborate on that. I don't know if elaborate. I mean, Jenny, right? We're open to all ideas and thoughts. Bring it to us. We
Absolutely.
can figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love that, especially when you have, a club desert. You don't really have a club close to
Yep.
you. Um, I mean, a dead zone, we could interpret that a bunch of
I
ways.
know. I started
We
laughing.
could start a graveyard intra club. That could be good. But yeah, we would love to see what we
Club
can do
desert.
because
Yes. Nancy said that. Club
interestingly,
desert.
you may have something there that we never even thought would be super cool to go
Yeah.
to. So bring us up to speed on that. That'd be great.
Yeah, and then Linda also made a comment about it'd be nice if the drivers would include older motorhomes. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Anything that's drivable, our one rule in this club is you have to own of RV manufactured by Airstream. So that includes the older Class A's from the early 2000s. It would be the interstates, old and new, and then the Atlases that they have out
And,
there.
and Airstream made what they call it a square stream. They made a couple models with slide outs. I mean, they're a little tiny van with a pop up top. They had all sorts. So if it goes and it has a little circular Airstream on it, you're in, baby.
Yeah. And then Christine Embers, any updates on the 2028? No, but we're so close. So close. By the next campfire chat, I know
All
we'll have
right,
more
we can do it
information.
at my house. We'll have the international rally at my house.
Oh, yeah, or maybe in our field, who knows? But anyway, so yes, we're close there. Again, as Jenny mentioned, we are easily booking 3 to 5 years out, if we want to get space in any of these rallies. So, all right, and then Jen Dice, is great to have these again and great to connect with you. Same with you, Jen.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Jen.
All right, so over to you,
So
Jenny.
keep
Whoop,
keep
there's
your
some.
cool ideas coming in. You guys have access to information we don't. So bring it to us. If you've got something fun you want to see done, it could be a caravan, it could be a rally, it could be a publication, anything that you think would be cool. You won't be alone. There'll be other people thinking it's really cool too. So bring it on. We'd love it. I'm kidding. We're not really having the rally at my house. So bring us other ideas.
Why not? But
Why
I
not in
can't
my
tell
not?
you, yeah, why not and why not? But I can tell you, you have an amazing rally team. I'm very proud to be the leader, a cross section of members and staff members, and man, they pour their hearts into making this happen. So we've got a couple things in the fire, and hopefully as I say, if we can pull it off, which I know we're going to, it's really going to open the door for us on some other opportunities. Because again, the venue industry is such a beast out there anymore, and but we'll make it happen. But I will tell you, whenever we do get to a location and we have a rally, they are like, it's like the never ending. Do you want to go on another date? Bothering us to come back, because once we're there, they love us. So that's all
Yeah,
good. All right.
it is really great.
It's very is there a way to connect market rallies that are specifically heading to Minot in the preceding weeks? I'm not exactly positive on your
I'm
question
thinking they
there.
might mean caravan together to go to Minot.
Oh, yeah. So again, all that stuff will be coming out in the publication, and keep an eye out for more of that. And then Doug and Marla said, is it too late to ask a question about the ACI app? No, I emailed a bug frustration about it about 6 months ago, and it's still there. So, Doug, if you want to email that to HQ, either assist at or info at airstreamclub.org, we can follow up with you on that. Again, that whole app was built by an amazing volunteer of ours, and actually our international secretary and his team donated and built that app for us. So we're very proud of that.
Yep.
So then Region 12, which I don't know who's behind Region 12 icon there. Welcome, Region 12. They said that Rock Springs will be right before the amazing Calgary Stampede National Event Rally. There you go. See? They can make
Boy,
it.
a package deal. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be fun?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Cool idea.
all good things.
Well, you mentioned you have a wonderful rally team, and I'm going to take that a whole lot further and say we have a wonderful membership. And, I'm thinking about setting up a Kool-Aid stand at Minot, because once you drink the Kool-Aid of this club, you're never going back. It is such a great place to experience friendships, grow friendships, see the country, see Canada, stretch your wings and making a true impact. So I really encourage everyone to consider helping out in any way you can, only because I'll guarantee you right now, you're going to have a lot more fun. So we don't have any other questions?
Yeah, actually we have some coming up. What are you guys late to the party? But we'll stay for a few minutes. If it's okay, Jenny.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, Stephanie says no, she means rallies that have happened before or on the way to international. Again, if you go to our website, you can do a list of rallies and they can tell you the date. So there's a ton of them out there to do. And then, is there a European region? So no, there's not a European region. We do have members that are in Europe. And Jenny, I don't know if you want to touch base on our conversations with our friends in Europe.
So many of you know that the Frank Lloyd Wright trailer got introduced, and it is a runaway success for Airstream Inc. Well, when they wanted for us to see it at the dealers meeting, and they previewed it for us, we got to go in. This was in Lexington, Kentucky in July. Well, my last name, Schnettler. It's, kind of on the German side. So I'm in the Frank Lloyd Wright trailer, and these two men are like, oh, we see you have the Schnettler for your last name. I'm like, I couldn't even figure out what they said. And I'm like, yeah. They were the German dealers, and they are the largest dealer in Europe. And they said to me, can you please get the club back for Europe? Can we please have a European branch? And I said, boy, I will do anything and everything I can to look into that for you, because I agree. So Christine and Tom Kirk, amazing members, brilliant, talented, wonderful folks. They're over in Europe, and they've been there for, boy, I think maybe even a year. They outfitted their trailer to be able to accommodate European roads and electrical and the cassette toilet, so they didn't have to use pump out. And they run into all sorts of people who have little pocket clubs throughout Europe of Airstreaming. And they're very excited to help relaunch an international European branch. It's going to take a couple of pieces and parts that we need to move around to get that to happen. But that's a big goal of me personally, because I'm Jenny Schnettler. Because the Germans asked me to, because
Yeah.
I think it's a valuable thing, and I think there's a tremendous interest in it. So the long way around to your answer is we're on a pause. We don't have it directly. We're aiming toward it.
Absolutely. Again, couple more questions. I believe you touched on this, but is there any updates on digitizing all the historical Blue Berets and caravanners for the members? Yes, David Gawley and Joe Poplinski and their team, they have been working on that. Oh, wow.
Over a year.
Oh, yeah, it's been over a year. So definitely been
Yeah, they
doing that.
invested in the equipment and the software to be able to digitize everything. It's kind of a tedious process, because you have to singular page each at each edition of the Blue Beret. So you have to actually sacrifice a Blue Beret, fortunately, we knew this ahead of time, and we have additional ones that are okay to gently take a razor blade and remove the page. So it's tedious work. And then, of course, keeping everything in order. It's all done by hand. It cannot be automated because of a lot of this is very fragile. So it's a big project, and thankfully, David Gully, Mary Gully, his wife, and Joe Poplinski and Lori Robertson have all put a really big effort, huge effort into making sure that we get everything that we possibly can to preserve our history.
Absolutely. Okay, Milo and Diane was just trying to support Doug and Marla about the app. So again, you can either, sorry, I had a cat just break into my room. So if again, send it to HQ though, so we can help follow up with that. Kathy says she's hearing rumors about Camp Yellowstone. Like,
Well, we were just there, and they really haven't ironed out all the details yet.
trying to wink. It's coming. Just be patient. It's gonna be there.
We don't know all the details yet, and they're hoping to be able to promise the same type of thing or even improved. But they're emotionally, they're very ready for it. Logistically, there's still things to work out. I guess that's the best way to put it. But
Yeah.
they would like to look into expanding the program. It was hugely successful. One thing that's going to be, I want you to just tuck this in that back corner of your mind. We will be heading into our 75th anniversary as a club in the year 2030. Airstream Inc. will be celebrating their 100th year the following year in 2031. So there may be a collaboration. We're going to have to look into that to see, can we both do stuff that celebrates I mean, it's quite an extraordinary relationship, unlike anything in any other relationship of a brand and a product and a group, a club. And so because we have this symbiotic relationship, we really hope to celebrate it kind of together.
Absolutely.
I think they call that a collaboration.
That is a hot term these days.
It's a hot
Collaboration.
term, and for a Wednesday night, I'm really stretching it. Whew.
All right. We have no other questions in the queue, and it's 9 after 9.
Thanks, guys. This is awesome to get to talk to you. Thank you so much. Hey, have a great Thanksgiving. I won't be seeing you on camera for a little while. I'm taking a massive life adventure, so I'm going to actually take 2 weeks totally excommunicado. Going to Antarctica. So I'll send a couple pictures when I get back. I promise, if
You
I'm
better.
thawed out by then. But otherwise, stay well, stay happy, keep traveling, and keep curious. See you soon.
See ya. Bye, everybody.
Bye.